What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back. And I do appreciate support. Guys, listen. I seen this story this morning. I couldn't wait to show it to y'all. This is something you got to see to believe. And I think everything that the owners of this restaurant is saying is BS. Hear me out. What I'm talking about is something that happened out there in Lawrence, Kansas, that's making about a video that's going viral. In this video, ladies and gentlemen, you will see an employee at a restaurant called Thru out there in Lawrence, Kansas, cutting meat in the drive-through of the restaurant. In addition to this, ladies and gentlemen, the meat is on the ground and they're chopping the meat up on the ground. Take a look at this and we will come back and talk about it and try not to vomit.
News at 10.
Don't be chopping up meat on the concrete. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with them.
Tonight, one area restaurant's responding to video showing one of its workers with a questionable approach to food safety. The video shows an employee cutting up meat on the pavement right outside Thru. I'm Lauren Halifax.
I'm Kevin Barry. That restaurant is near 23rd and Louisiana in Lawrence. Fox 4's Dave DeMarco is working for you tonight with why the restaurant says customers shouldn't be alarmed.
Inspectors with the Kansas Department of Agriculture made a special Sunday trip out here. They found no violations, but certainly had some advice for owners of the restaurants.
Greg and Jennifer Watkins were driving by Thru Saturday when they noticed a peculiar sight right outside the back door of the Lawrence Chinese restaurant that's been in business for 20 years.
And my wife, she was like, "What is he doing?" And I looked, behind me, I'm like, he's chopping meat.
They started recording as he threw what had appeared to be chopped up pieces of meat from the drive-through pavement into a container.
Look at this.
It was gut-wrenching. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. There was no cutting board or nothing to chop on. He was just cutting on concrete.
Social media users shared the video thousands of times and got the attention of the Kansas Department of Agriculture. The owner explained to inspectors the same thing he told us. The meat was raw pork, nothing they serve on the menu.
People now just worry about we serving the pork cut from the ground.
Lou also said the employee was breaking the meat up for personal use.
They use the hammer to break it, and then today's the day off. They take it home to make a soup. I
mean, it's not clean. It's not good to be chopping meat, whether it's for personal consumption or they're going to do it to the public. They're still preparing it in that kitchen.
Thru took to social media to explain the meat is cooked at the end of the night in a separate bowl than the ones used for customers' food. Health inspectors say they provided extensive education on unapproved foods and sources, and due to the complaint, the restaurant cleaned and sanitized all knives during the inspection, as well as the area around that door.
I did ask, and owners say that employee is keeping his job here. However, they say they've made it very clear that him cutting his meat for personal use at home right outside the restaurant here is not acceptable. Dave DeMarco, Fox 4, working for you.
All right, guys, I'm going to be honest with you. That was the weakest excuse I've ever heard from a restaurant owner, and I think he's full of shit. For real. Oh, they take the food home, and it wasn't for anything on the menu. And did y'all see pork fried rice? That like pork he was cutting up. Now, you seen that was an Asian restaurant, you know what I'm saying? But, come on, man. You got a hard time explaining that. You go out the back door where the sinks, the slop sinks and all that stuff is. You take the food out there, put the food on the ground, leave the tray where the food is, you're breaking the food up and throwing it back into the tray. But it's in the drive-through pavement. It's on the ground. Do you know how many cars have leaky transmissions, leaky engines, leaky radiators, all that all them chemicals and stuff on the ground? You got your stuff out there. Come on, man. Oh, he cutting it up and he making a soup. Really? Is he now? His ass would have got fired for making that restaurant look bad. But you notice they didn't fire him. Oh, he'll take that home and make a soup, so he'll eat that. You allow him to eat that? Another thing is this. He had that door open and went outside. Who else was in that restaurant? Nobody figured out, hey man, don't do that shit out there. Make the place look bad. What are you doing? Nobody said nothing. It's a bunch of bull what he said. How trifling is that? I'm all about promoting business, but that place, Triaki, I would not fuck with it. His answers as an owner were not convincing to me. That is the most trifling shit I've seen in a while. Besides the mop bucket thing when they showed Popeyes in Australia or whatever it was, whatever restaurant that was. But either way, man, come on. Come on. That's alarming. That is alarming. And then his response to it was really concerning. Oh, that's not the food we give everybody else. And then it's washed in a separate plate. I'm gonna tell you something. People get lackadaisical when they had these restaurants. A lot of times. They do. They probably in with the health inspector that comes and sees them, probably the same one for the past 10, 15 years. Come in, everything okay? Leave out. They don't think they're gonna get caught. I'm more than sure that stuff that they had there, they probably served somebody already. Because you got to remember, it took a while for the video to get out and then get the Board of Health out there in Lawrence, Kansas involved. Days and weeks probably passed before that. That food is up and out in the public. Nobody working in a restaurant, period, that's prepping food with all of those plastic signs that you got to have up there about hygiene and health and cross-contamination would know not to cut that stuff outside. You agree or disagree? People in the kitchen know that there's things around you, all these different posters telling you what to do and what not to do. That right there was comfortability. That person was comfortable doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I don't live out there because I would not. And I guarantee, listen, I guarantee you their food good as hell. And people don't know why. Damn, they got the best Chinese. They got this, they got that. See the bullshit they was doing? It's crazy. It's crazy. And then this is the part that's messed up about it. You saw the sick business practices, right? And for it to be an Asian restaurant, come on, how more stereotypical could that be? Seriously, when I seen the Chinese dude, I was like, oh my God, like as if it couldn't get any worse than that. And that's the part. And shout out to the Asians, no disrespect to the Asians. But you know how people used to say it was dog and cat, you don't know what they making. And then to see something like this, that's a bad look. It's a bad look. I'm Stock Market Steve with Dynamic Reason Channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. If you live out there, don't fuck with that shit. That was not, that right there, that person was real comfortable doing that shit out there in the street. That's like me taking and cutting chicken up. I'm gonna bake chicken tonight, and I'm gonna go out there in a parking lot where cars frequently sit idle, waiting for their food, with all kind of chemicals dropping out of them. I'm gonna use that for my cutting board, and then wash it off, and then eat it later. The fuck out of here. I'll see you in the next video. Take care.